Okay, just a quick work in progress. I've just sketched the outline of the sword and the general dimensions of just the straight part. I haven't gotten to the hilt pieces yet, but this is how it stands so far. I'm pretty well happy with everything that I've got. The blade itself was a little touch and go at one point, just because getting the width in relation to the rest of the sword was kind of difficult. I've got it spaced relatively well so you could actually use it as two hands, and to try and get the handle to balance out the rest of the sword a little bit. And then I've got the hilt pieces here and here, and then the horns that would wrap around. I'm pretty happy with the size of everything so far in relationship to each other. And for the break, I think I'm going to first cut everything out, the entire outline, minus the pommel. And then I'm going to layer the wood. I'm going to put the 1/4 inch and dowels in first, and then I'm going to carve out singularly the skulls. That way I can get a basic shape for the sword itself, and then I can still carve the skulls separate without having to worry about where they're going to be on the sword. I'm going to carve the skulls on the sword after I get a general shape and a general idea of where the horns are going to come out. So, that's pretty much as it stands. One last quick look. I've also notched out where the 7 runes go. This seems a little bit small, but once I get the actual runes out on trace paper or something, I'll be able to have a better look at how that's going to go. Alright. That's it. Also, right now, it has an overall length of about 49 inches. That's 2 inches longer than the model, and where I added that in is I added it at the end. The blade they have is only 27, I made it 29 or 30. So I tried to compact it a little bit, but not effectively enough, I guess. So I guess that means I got it just about right, actually, which is a good thing. Alright. End video. Okay, second work in progress for Frostmourne. As you can see, I've cut out everything along the lines that I determined and drew out. So far this is all just plain shaping with just a rasp and a knife. And then I've actually started the layering process as well. You can see I put a 1/4 inch piece on there and a 1/4 inch piece here to just bridge where I had the split across. And I buried the skull design, but only after I drew this out on trace paper, all the designs that I had laid out. So I still have all of those for later. And as you can see, I pretty well built up the handle to where I want it, as an inch by about 1 1/8 or 1 1/4, about that. And then I'll round that later, and then build up on top of this before I round it. But I'll build up on top of this for the rings, and add a pommel. And then I need to still finish layering up here and here on both sides, as well as add pieces onto here and onto here. I'm going to keep this actually a 1/2 inch, so I'm going to recess one side on here and layer this on top of that. So it's going to be a 1/2 inch out, but so that they have something to glue onto on both sides. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I haven't started sharpening the blade yet. I'm going to leave it in case I clunk it. The weight right now is, of course, all the way on the blade, but it's still pretty manageable as of right now. And I think that's it. Like I said, I just cut everything out and I started layering the wood on top, and we're gonna see how it goes from there. It's going slowly, but I like how it's going. In video. Alright, work in progress 3 for Frostmourne. What I've got so far is not much from the last one. Like I said, I've still got it cut out and everything. I did start kind of laying out the blade on this one side and where it's going to edge up. I changed the design a little bit too. I didn't like how this kind of faded in and then this kind of faded out of that. So I'm just going to have them meet, so you have this nice little spike here. Kind of match what I've done here, which is also different from the original design. As you can see, I've kind of done a majority of the initial layering. I finished one side, built this up to the 1 inch that I was aiming for, and left this a 1/2 inch still. And then you can see I still have a piece glued on right here. And basically what I've been doing is I've just been gluing it on, so I've got overlap. Then I just cut it out and then chisel off. There's no glue on this part of it right here, so that just kind of pops off. But yeah, like I said, I got some of the initial layering done. Now all I do is I just glue these pieces on and then I cut around it. And then, except for here, I left the layering on top, because then I'm just going to slide a piece in there to finish off the hilt piece there. Just going to pull it out so I have something to glue onto and clamp down on, and for extra strength. Otherwise I just have to glue back over it anyway, so that's just kind of saving myself some work. And you can see here I've did some initial cutting, so I've got a 1/4 inch on top as well. So that's pretty much it, just so you kind of get a better idea of what I mean by the layering process and how that's going to change the look of the sword a little bit. Like I said, this is going to stay a 1/2 inch to match the blade, and then I'm just going to recess a piece in and then put it on there. So yeah, that's it.